Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. It's 6 o'clock and here we go. We need to find out if we got a quorum.
President Michael Ryder.
Here.
Chair Heidi Soper. Here. Vice Chair Amy Owens. Present. Mary Esposito. Here. Mark Newman.
Present.
Right, and Carmen Ortiz. Here. All right, you have a quorum.
All righty, we're all here. Mary, would you start us off with the Pledge of Allegiance?
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, number 3 on the agenda is general public comment, and Gary Moore would like to speak with us.
Hi, my name is Gary Moore, and I'm here tonight to see how much interest there would be to have an evening of Sun Valley history. My folks moved out here in 1950, and I was born in 51 and watched it explode. I have some maps of Sun Valley subdivision and maps before Sun Valley. And so what I want to see how many people are interested in something like that to do that. That's good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm not being paid for this, so don't take only because you can take the boy out of Sun Valley, but not the Sun Valley out of the boy. So next question is, we're looking at the middle of March. I thought March 13th, which is a Friday, or the 14th is Toby suggested. So which would be a good day?
The 14th on which days? Okay, you say when we suggested to hi Kimberly.
Yeah. Saturday. Saturday better than Friday. Okay. I'll have some flyers made. I'll put some on the bulletin board here around. The other is what time? 6 p.m. Give you time to come in and eat if you want, and then come up. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't care. A lot of us are retired, so it doesn't matter what time.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Would it be possible to get him on an agenda item and let him speak freely to the people that come here anyway?
Is that what we're doing?
No, that's an option, maybe. Is that an option?
He's already on. He's already on the agenda.
Oh.
No, he's still supposed to cover.
I'm not going to be in town next month, the first week of March, but I'll be ready.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So everybody all right with 4 o'clock?
We've got tentatively the history of Sun Valley, maybe in July or August. That's a possibility.
Well,
It's not.
Carved in stone. School's out, vacations, I don't know.
Sure.
That's what we're trying to find out. If July's good, then we'll put it up in July.
March early afternoon.
March early afternoon. I see a lot of heads shaking. Because I have to let Hobie's know what's going on.
About 15 seconds.
Jen, thank you very much. Thank you for allowing me up here.
We'll get it all figured out. I promise. Next, we have Catherine who'd like to talk.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Catherine Yarte. For those of you that don't know me or haven't met me before, I am running for Washoe County Commission for District 5. So that encompasses a bit of Sun Valley and is shared currently with Commissioner Garcia on the other side. So I won't take up a lot of your time tonight. One of the things that is, that we're doing that's a little bit different is I think traditional door knocking can be kind of invasive and poorly timed for a lot of people. So what we are doing is setting up events we're calling Coffee with Catherine, where you can come to a nice public location and just get to know me on your own terms, on your own schedule. So this week we have 2 in this area. We will be at Hobie's at the Cafe at 6 p.m. on Wednesday the 4th. And Thursday the 5th at Yogurt Beach in Golden Valley at 4 p.m. And I'd love to meet you. If there's no pressure, it's not anything where I'm going to be pushing you with a lot of information. I want to hear what you need. I don't know a lot about Sun Valley. I'm really excited about doing a history. I did live here briefly in my 20s, but I do live up in Red Rock, and I'm passionate about this community and making sure that you guys have the resources that you need from the representation that you have at the county level. So I'd love to learn more about what you guys need specifically in this area, and I hope to see a lot of you out there.
All right, next we have JJ.
Good evening, everyone. My name is James Spinks. I go by JJ. I am currently the incumbent running for election for Washoe County School District C. That encompasses Sweet Valley, Winfield, Spanish Springs, all of the North Valleys, over to Red Rock and up to Cold Springs. Now, why am I here today? I'm reaching out to all the counties so that everybody know that I am running. And that's and this has a really good history here. This cab does a lot of good work. I've been to the CAS before. I've done some presentations, and I respect everything that you all do. One of the things that I'm really standing for is that the strategic plan that the district currently has, that we haven't had a chance to look at what their focus is. That's kind of where it all is. There's the operations part of it that goes on, but the focus is really there in that strategic plan. If you look at that, and they push that in everything that they do in the district. Looking ahead, I remain especially focused for CTE, which is Career and Technical Education. That means getting our students ready for the workforce. And not everybody's going to go to college. Those that are will move on. Those that are not, we're going to continue to try to get them prepared and get those things ready. And then last thing, I have a few business cards and a flyer in the back. But more importantly, I just wanted to put it out there so you hear my name and you know that's what I stand for. And again, I went through that rigorous process to be appointed there. I learned a great deal about education this last year, and I'll be in the seat this year. So I just want to put that out there, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. We have Mr. Rick.
My name's Rick Murdoch. I'm with Hobie's. What I would ask this group is, anybody have any old pictures?
Talk into the microphone, Rick.
Oh,
Thank you.
if you have any pictures of the original casino out here, the C&H Corral, we will want.
That's what I was talking
I
about.
gave one to Mark this week.
Oh, did you give him one?
I'm reaching out to Sherry Harris' son
Yes.
to see if he has a photo of when it was Sherry's Corral. She only had it from 76 to 79.
Yes, we would like to put some more pictures of the history in the nice cafe down, restaurants. I would appreciate it if any, thank you for that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rick.
I have to make a public comment about Mike Ryder, but I'm going to be talking as the vice chair of the GIP right now, not as a member of the CAB. There's been some interest in what's going on down on First Street in Sun Valley. We've had so much development out here that everybody gets worried it might be apartments and things like that. But what it is down there right now being built is the new pump station for Sun Valley. And this project is primarily being paid for by Five Ridges, which is a development which is way the heck over there on Pyramid Highway and Highland Ranch. But as part of their agreement for infrastructure and everything to comply with their needs, they are helping us build a new pump station, a new water main, and eventually a new water tank, which will be the replacement for the one that's up by Esther Bennett on the side of the hill up there. So I just want to let you know about those projects so that when you see them, you know what they are and you know that they're not a development for housing. There are utilities that will help everybody out here, and that they're all being mostly paid for by the developers that are out there and not by the residents. So that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Okay, did you want now or at the end?
At the end, so I'm fine.
All right, so that's all I have right now. So what we need to do is agenda item number 4. We need to approve the minutes from January 5th. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the minutes for January 5th, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Let's all vote. Everybody in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, they're approved. That was neat. Next is our public safety updates. Oh goody, we have both departments here. Are you guys gonna flip a coin?
We were gonna fight over it. I'd lose. You want me to talk to the microphone? They agreed, the chief of Cookie Meadows Fire. We started printing out a bulletin for you guys for some call stats and also, updates and safety tips. It's back here on the back table. I'll give you just a real quick, snapshot. Our daily average is 8.5 calls, medical calls, and Farley to 211 in the month of January. And vehicle accidents at 19. An example of a safety tip that you can get on this flyer is we have 3 of them. Space heaters or space heater safety is one on there today. It basically says never use extension cords on heaters. 3 feet clearance around that heater and always unplug them when they're not in use. That's a quick example of and then there's also a QR code that you can go to another website and it gives you all kinds of other safety tips. So that's all I have in the report. Have a good evening.
Thank you. All right.
Hi guys, my name is Sergeant Bigger, Abby Bigger. This is my first CAB meeting, but I was given all the numbers and the updates to bring here for you guys tonight. Washoe County stratified breaks down last quarter, which I think was the end of 2025's quarter, and then compares it to a 3-year average. So we have a list of all the different offenses, and I just kind of highlighted, I guess, the big ones are the ones that most people ask about. Feel free to ask about any others. And then also I brought cards. So if anyone wants to email me, if you have any questions that I cannot answer as I'm a sergeant, and a lot of times these are lieutenants that come to these meetings, I'm happy to get the answers to those questions for you and email you back. Okay. So for the Sun Valley CAB, some of the notable ones, I'm not sure if you guys have heard, we've had a couple arson cases around, 4Beat's gotten some, and then we've also had some on mineral. So right now the quarter as it stood for the end of 2025 was 2, and the 3-year average was 1. So unfortunately that is up. Assault offenses, we had, and just so you guys know, assault offenses, I believe, incorporate just simple battery and things like that. We were at 63 when the 3-year average for a quarter was 55. So that went up. Burglary, we had 11 for the quarter, and the 3-year average for a quarter was 9. Oops, am I too close?
You're just fine.
Maybe the batteries are.
Okay, I can just talk loud because I do this job for a living. So we left off with burglary. And then burglary, just to remind everyone, burglary is like when someone sneaks in and steals something, it's not with force or encountering the owner. That's our robbery defense or definition. Driving under the influence, the DUIs were at 18 and the average per quarter last year were 19. So went down by 1. We have introduced, I believe they've only been around since 2025. We do have the DUI
units. We have 2 units that kind of spread it through Tuesday through Friday and Wednesday through Saturday. And that is their main focus all night. When they log on, they go out and they look for drunk drivers and they do the field sobriety testing. So we do have those 2 units that are focusing on it. Therefore, obviously the numbers may or may not change or may go up because of some of the high priority focus on that. The drug narcotics violations was at 21 for the 4th quarter of 2025 with the average being 28. So that went down a little. Family offenses, 10 was for the quarter and 10 was the average. So that didn't go anywhere. And it does say in parentheses, non-violent family offenses. So that might be like the verbal domestic squabbles that didn't turn physical. Fraud offenses are at 20 for the last quarter. The average for the 3 years per quarter were 20 also. So that stayed the same. I'm sure you guys are aware that we try to push out on social media a lot of reminders when you're getting emails and you're getting text messages from unknown numbers, not to click on that if they say there's a problem with billing or a problem with your bank. Back out of it completely. Don't click on any links and go straight to your app or go straight to the website, log in with your password or call your bank directly from a number you know. The online offenses can come from someone from another state just sending you a malware in link. Or it can come from like Malaysia and other overseas, and we can push that to the feds. There is a reporting method, but it isn't always, because they're calling from fake numbers, it isn't always something you can track down on a local level. Larceny, excuse me, theft offenses was up with 33 for the 4th quarter, with the average per quarter being 27. Just a little bit up. And then motor vehicle theft was down with 6 for the 4th quarter of 2025 when the average was 10. And then robbery, so taking something from someone face to face with force was at 3, where the average quarterly number for last year was 1. Stolen property offenses was at 8, when the average quarterly was for 6. And then just weapons law violations in general, and that could be from encountering someone on foot or in their car or in their home, was at 10, and the average was 8. So there isn't any drastic spike in any one of these. I do have a bunch of others listed that are things like, you know, destruction, damage and vandalism. I know our parks often have been dealing with that. That was at 25 for the last quarter of 2025 and 27 was the average. So the numbers are either floating around the same number, the average, or they dipped slightly or they spiked slightly, but there was no major ration numbers. And that was the update for that. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Go ahead. Carol Burns for the record. Could you tell us what happened with the guy dumping the tires out in the desert?
I was not on that shift, but from what I heard and what our social media pushed out, active eyes, like you guys are all the best witnesses to get us somewhere that we need to be. You know, the old adage, like a cop is never where you need them to be. That's why we need those eyes. So if you see someone that's rolling out to the hills and it doesn't look like they're out there for running their dog or they're just taking a hike with some water bottles dressed appropriately and they have a bunch of stuff with them, they're either going to set up camp as my guess or they're there dumping. So either way, if you guys see something like that, call us. From what I hear happened, someone saw him bringing it out there and unloading tires just in the hills, which is an eyesore, and it's not something that will dissipate at all or go away with weathering. And they called actively. We sent deputies before he left and caught him red-handed dumping. It was what I heard. Yeah. Also, guys, I hope you all know we have our Hope unit in full swing. It just we just switched sergeants because previous sergeant that got one of the people that got the program up and running has been promoted, but it's our homeless, unhoused action team. So they are also willing to go out and make contact with people that you see maybe within sight of your house in the hills, setting up a tent or living in a car. And if you're concerned about if there's kids in that condition or if they have too many animals or they're keeping them in the car, by all means call and we can refer that team to if it's an unhoused situation versus an illegal dumping. But the illegal dumping, you guys, if we get there after the fact, you know, and when you call, you're seeing it live. That's the best information and intel we can possibly get. Obviously, based on how many deputies we have on and how many exigent other calls we're on, we can't always come straight there, screech and red lights and sirens. But if we can, that's ideal. But if we can't, still put in that call. Obviously, you won't know that in advance, but put in the call because we can get there. And often people who dump things illegally, I've found in my career and training and experience, leave something with their name on it. We go through, I have no problem going through someone's garbage bag with some gloves and finding a receipt or, anything with their name on it and be like, well, unless somebody was dumping and stopped at your house to pick up your garbage, it's most likely worse, So, thank you for that question. Go ahead.
Hey Dyer, for the record, how about on private property if they have mattresses and a washing machine or something stacked in the corner of their
Visible from the
visible
public road.
from the road? Who do you call for that one?
I believe code enforcement handles that. Code enforcement usually handles those kinds of things. If there's a Washoe County code against it, depends on whether you're city of Reno, city of Sparks, or Washoe County jurisdiction. But they can go or answer questions better for you than that, or than me. But oftentimes when code enforcement goes to address some of these issues that concern people call on.
It's on private
If,
property.
well, I think different cities have different codes, and then obviously if there's an HOA in that specific area too, I'm sure they could probably talk around. I know, city code handles like cars that are parked sometimes for us that don't have registration on the public roadway, not on private property. But you'd have to ask them for the specifics, just because we're dealing with more criminal, but we do get called by code enforcement when they go address something that they do have jurisdiction over, and they're met with hostility and unwilling.
Yes, that's why I asked.
Yep, so depending on if the property is in the city of Sparks considered, or the city of Reno, or Washoe County, if it's in Sun Valley, it's most likely Washoe County.
I know Sun Valley, yeah.
Okay, it's probably us then. I don't have that number, but if you want me to try to get it to you, or you could probably Google like Washoe County Code Enforcement. It's probably I'm gonna guess it's a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you could probably leave a message.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Mark Emerald for the record. Back to the illegal dumping. If we see that going on, is it advisable to take a picture of what's going on?
That would be awesome, a video.
Yeah.
So the big thing is catching the license plate if there
Yeah,
is one
yeah.
of the car dumping or the trailer, the towing trailer dumping. But we also would need either a photo or a video of the person doing it.
Sure.
Because kind of like reckless driving or the DUI driving, hey, we got this license plate of this person driving and leaving. By the time we get there, if the car lands at home and there's 5 adults in the house who all have driver's licenses, if the concerned citizen doesn't see who was doing it, someone can illegally dump while borrowing a friend's truck, and we don't wanna mislabel.
I just, we see a pickup truck loaded with a bunch of garbage driving off the road.
We do have traffic ticket offenses too that we can give people if you see them and things are falling off. It's a citation for unsecured loads. If you're not strapping things down and you're heading out to the hills, so it's kind of your spidey senses are probably correct that nothing good is about to happen, so. Our beautiful hills.
One more question.
Go ahead.
Are you just filling in for Lieutenant Town, or are you here permanently?
Well, I'm here semi-permanently.
Okay.
So Lieutenant Tone, I know he's a blast. He's a
He's
much
awesome.
better presenter. He is gonna be gone for about 3 months. He is across, back east getting some additional training. They send our lieutenants to at a university in Louisville, Kentucky, so.
We got a great replacement.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll do my best. And like I said, I won't have all the answers and I'm not familiar with or used to doing CAB meetings, but I have no problem sharing my card with my email and getting back to you guys for more specific questions. If the code enforcement isn't something you can easily Google, I'll give you my card anyway. Because I like to know, because then the next time I get asked, or if I'm dealing with a situation, I can give people better resources and at least point them in the right direction.
Yeah, you stand behind me.
Absolutely, that too. We can help code enforcement. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I want to thank the sheriff's office. We had your team out here last week.
Oh, good.
And our cameras are now linked to our outside cameras,
Oh, nice.
are linked to
Yes.
your.
USIS system. So you guys have, you want me to explain that? at all?
Yeah.
It's gonna be the layman's version, of course, but so we have back in the day, we had the what do we call it, the Fusion Center. Then it changed and we had NRIC, which is Northern Nevada Rural Intelligence Center. Or regional, it was regional, and then we de-regionalized, so now we have independently built our own, what we call, and what the nation is calling a real-time crime center. we have a drone that lives in like a, kind of like a birdhouse for it, and it opens and that drone can go respond. And if you Google, if you Google Las Vegas and LA County, they've already been doing this for years, but it's a new thing out west. And that drone is able to get eyes on to a scene that we're headed to prior to the deputies physically being able to get through the lights and the traffic to get there. So we can say, hey, you know, there's a vehicle leaving at the high rate of speed, 2 occupants jumped in it, we can do infrared, we can find silver alert missing seniors in the hills, we can find missing juveniles that have run away from home and they're out in the hills and maybe didn't prepare for the elements. Heat signatures are easier to read right now. During the summer, the rocks and things that are hot at night, it gets confusing, but it's all amazing technology. We also have, I think at least 4 or 5 drone operators that have handhelds that they carry around in a safe briefcase in their car to get to these scenes of missing kids and or hot scenes. But with that comes this big software company that's called Fusus. And what that is we are willing to share these core units with companies and businesses, and eventually someday, further on into our real-time crime center build out, we will be able to allow people's Ring cameras and their home security Blink cameras if they choose to agree and sign up to give us access. What this means when businesses sign up to let their cameras give access to our Fusus is someone's gonna be operating in the crime center 24 hours a day, kind of like the movies where it's all covered in, the room's covered in TVs and they're all looking at something different, and we've got drone joysticks and we've got all this like super amazing technology happening. But what it means is if you share, if you get at one of our cores, we can immediately look at all of what your surveillance cameras see instantly. So we can tap, because we're giving access, we can tap it. So if we hear, hey, it looks like there's a carjacking in progress at Toby's, an innocent passerby saw someone held up with a gun. Boom, that drone is coming out of its little bird box, I call it, birdhouse, and it's coming to the area. Instantly, our guys in the crime center are logging into Hobie's exterior cameras only. With the casinos, we're doing exterior cameras only because we're not gaming police and we're not trying to invade people's privacy. Down the road, the Blink and the doorbell cameras will be at your leisure if you want to sign on. If you're on a, you know, if you live on a corner and there's a lot of car accidents there because people disobey the speed limit or stop sign notoriously, you wanted to sign on one camera of yours down the road someday, you could, and we could play back and see who was at fault for an accident that maybe injured someone as a hit and run. But the cores for Fusus allows us to instantly pull that up, so the deputies, and it will be uniformed and civilian people mixed in our real-time crime center, they'll be able to see what's going on, maybe get like purple puffy jacket as a description, easier and quicker, so that responding deputies, hey, he's leaving in a white pickup, okay, and then let's see if we can zoom in and follow that pickup, high rate of speed down Sun Valley Boulevard, get a license plate, get a direction of travel. We're hopefully gonna be on top of things quicker, making it safer, hopefully, for the public. Also, on a side note, you know, we just hear white pickup historically, it's not useful. You don't wanna be the 3rd white pickup on Sun Valley Boulevard getting pulled out with our guns pointed at you, just because we're looking for an indiscriminate white pickup. So it will improve the accuracy of our responding, not only the time frame, but the accuracy, which is what we're looking. It's gonna be amazing. Businesses have signed up all around. I equate it to the East Coast, you guys, when I use for an example, like when the Boston Marathon bombing happened, within 24 hours, they're watching all the videos from all the surveillance cameras up and down the street, watching these 2 young men arrive at the event, set a backpack down, walk away, and you're looking through a jewelry store camera, then you're looking through a bagel shop, then you're looking through a department store camera, then you're, you know, and it's, the sequence of it is it's in a public setting. It's not stuff from inside. It's stuff that, you know, you put your license plate on every day, and when you leave your garage or your house, you know, your license plate is visible and your car color and your car make. So it's not meant to be a big brother. I don't have all the answers to the details about the drone, but it is very, very, very strict airspace, like what we're allowed to view or pick up. When we get a call and the fixed drone is heading to the call, they're not trying to look in backyards on their way there. We don't have the right to do that. We're not violating people's privacy. It's just to get eyes on so that the deputies know what to look for quicker.
Here.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's been booming for years elsewhere, so I'm really excited for our size that we're getting signed on.
tell you, that we also signed our South, casino Tamarack.
Oh, nice.
Is signed up because
Yeah, okay.
you guys, your team came here and did a presentation.
Yeah.
It's so neat that
Yeah.
you can do that on the peripheral, so.
Yeah, and this isn't abnormal on the East Coast, you know, it's outside only, it's things that we know is are displayed for the public to see, whatever code I choose to leave my house in. Any one of your eyes are able to land on it and know that, so. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, I've been pushing with that for like the last year, really, really hard and getting things out, and it's now already just been instrumental the last few weeks that we've had someone on the drone until about midnight. It's been amazing. Yes, sir.
Mark Newman for the record. Did you get Gifford Park on the program too?
I can check for you, but I'm pretty sure Gepford Park has also, in addition to these core cameras, we have fixed cameras from a company called Flock, and I believe Gepford's on there, but I can double check for you.
The GID put money out to put cameras and lighting in the park.
Okay, I don't know about the lighting, but I can find out and I can.
Well, I know, I'm on the GID.
Oh, perfect. Yes, absolutely.
I've been pushing for it to
Yes.
get it on the sheriff department.
Yep, I know, there was at least 5 locations north, Lazy 5 being one of them, Sun Valley Regional being one of them. I'm pretty sure Gepford's gonna be on there if it's not already, with a fixed block camera.
I get a card too?
Yes.
Might be a word. Yeah.
I grabbed a few extra.
Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Any other questions, guys? So take up your whole meeting. If you guys want also, if you guys would ever prefer someone to come back and give another presentation, let me know. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, that was fascinating. That's the. We are down to our Better Business Bureau Vice President, Mr. Timothy Johnson, who's here to talk about scams.
Testing. Well, anybody know what day is today? Today is Groundhog's Day, right? So Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow, so we've got at least 6 more weeks of winter and also scams. I wish it was only that way. So thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you today. And I want to start with a number, $12.5 billion. In 2024, the FTC received reports from individuals about fraud amounting to $12.5 billion. And that's an increase from the year prior, which was at $10 billion. And that was a high number back then. All my numbers tonight are from 2024. We're still too early into the new year to get something from 2025. And the $12.5 billion is just what's being reported to the FTC. We know that individuals only report fraud at about a 5% rate when it comes to scams, to say law enforcement, to government agencies, or even to an organization like the Better Business Bureau. So these numbers are way underreported, but I want to give you a little bit of a landscape of what's taking place and talk about the riskiest scams that we see at the Better Business Bureau. And what can we do really when it comes down to this? When it comes down to protecting ourselves is knowing what the scams are and what the tactics are to help us not fall for them. And as scams change, and they will, especially with artificial intelligence, understand that scammers are after 2 things, but they're lucky to get both. They're looking for your personal information and your financial information. So anytime that somebody you don't know is asking you for that information, I'd say even if they do know you, first question should be why and who are you and what do you need it for, right? So next slide, please. So I want to paint a little bit of the landscape. How does Nevada rank? Well, overall, and this is a number from all of the US, reports of identity theft totaled 1.1 million reports. You'll see there on the screen, it might be hard to see, but reports of identity theft in 2024, Nevada ranked 3rd. If you are a victim of identity fraud, I would encourage you to immediately report it. The FTC has a great resource online at identitytheft.gov. I have cards over here, so afterwards you're welcome to take one. What's nice about it is you're reporting it to law enforcement by filing directly with them. It also can help you create a personal recovery plan. I'm a victim of identity theft in 2024, and I thought I knew everything because I talk about it, but I didn't. And so it helped point out some things that I needed to go down that path as I recovered from that. And also to let you know, the Better Business Bureau, to help keep identity theft in the news, so that we're reminded that it continues to take place. We provide a way to easily and freely dispose of documents. Sorry, Siri apparently wants me. Okay, I should have turned that thing on. But in October, we host a Secure Your ID Day. This year will be our 19th annual. It takes place usually the first or second weekend of October. Don't have that secured yet, but again, a free way to dispose of securely on site. We shred it for you, and that'll be coming up later this year. Now, the top reported fraud was imposter scams. You'll see there that Nevada ranked 4th in fraud and other reports. And just the big picture here, I've been tracking this since 2009. When it comes to fraud and other reports, Nevada has ranked 5th, or in the top 5, I should say. And we ranked in the top 10 when it comes to identity theft reports, all for about 1 year. So when it comes to imposter scams, this is a large bucket. Oftentimes we think about government imposter scams, somebody calling from the Internal Revenue Service, Social Security, or Medicaid. But it can be a well-known business. How many of you received an email from PayPal or maybe Amazon? I think everybody has an Amazon account. I don't, but my wife does. Romantic interest or a friendship interest. A lot of times when I talk to groups, they think, or they tell me, Tim, I'm not going to download a dating app. I don't even do technology. But maybe they message, maybe they receive text messages, or maybe they play games online and message that way as well. So romance and friendship scams can start easily through a simple text message. A tech support expert getting a call out of the blue from Microsoft saying they found something bad with your computer. I'd be happy to help you. Give me access to your computer and $499, and I will help you for life. And then lastly, a family member with an emergency, oftentimes referred to as a grandparent scam. So all of these are different types of imposter scams. One other thing that we gleaned from the report from the Federal Trade Commission in the statistics, email was the #1 contact method used by scammers in 2024. You might have heard the term phishing, spelled phishing, and that is when scammers are using email to get you to click on a link, download an attachment, or to call a particular number. And the sergeant mentioned that earlier. And also to know, after email, the second most used method was phone calls. And when somebody, as a scammer, gets a hold of somebody via phone, they're able to, on a median loss, loot or take about $1,500 on a median level from individuals. So my tip to people, and I know it's tough, don't answer the phone if you don't recognize that number. If it's important, let it go to voicemail, and you can decide if you want to call them back. Next slide. So the Better Business Bureau is a nonprofit, standards-based organization with a mission to advance trust in the marketplace. You might be thinking, so why am I talking about scams and scam prevention? Because those scams and scammers can impact trust, erode trust in our community. We provide many free resources, some to help you in this scenario. One is our BBB Scam Tracker. I'll talk about that in a moment. A way to report scams and see the scams that are being reported. And also our business profiles to help you find businesses you can trust. Most people come to BBB for reports on businesses. We have reports on more than 5.5 million businesses all throughout the US and into Canada. And lost my point there. You can find these reports online at bbb.org. And if you're not tech savvy, tech's not your friend, well, you can also reach out to BBB, give us a call. We'd be happy to help you over the phone. And we report on all types of businesses, both BBB accredited and non-accredited as well. We report on charities at give.org. And this is one where you really have to go online to get all the details. But if you are a person that likes to give, encourage you to give wisely. Check the organization out before you give. You can do that at give.org. We have reports on 12,000 charities. People also come to us when they happen to have a dispute or a complaint with the business. BBB serves as a neutral third party to help facilitate a resolution. And that process then, or the results of that process, is included in that company's report. So you can find out what is that company's track record in the community. And lastly, a way to report scams at BBB Scam Tracker. Next slide, please. So our scam tracker is a free tool you can use to report suspected scams. Your reports warn others so they can avoid similar cons. And we share the reports with our fraud fighting partners, which includes the FTC. What I like about it is you can actually read the detailed personal accounts of scams as they come in on a daily basis. I encourage you to check me or test me on that. If you go to bbb.org/scam tracker and do a search for Oprah. We talked about impersonation scams. Scammers like to impersonate celebrities, people that we know. And Oprah will come up time and time again, people losing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. You know, a lot really to do with losing weight. It's in the news day in, day out. People are looking for ways to do it at a much cheaper cost. So if you've spotted a scam, whether or not you've lost money, I encourage you to report it to bbb.org/scam tracker. Now, we compile the data from Scam Tracker into an annual risk report to identify which scams have the greatest risk. Next slide. Using BBB Scam Tracker data, investment in cryptocurrency scams was the #1 riskiest scam type in 2024. Why was it risky? More than 80% of people who were targeted by the scam type reported losing money. And there was a high median dollar loss of $5,000. So the red flag here is if somebody is urging you or pushing you to make a decision immediately, that's a red flag. That sense of urgency is so that you don't check them out. You don't check out what the offering that they're providing to you. And that sense of urgency is really locked into all types of scams. It's in the DNA. So if anybody's pushing you for a decision now, stop and talk to somebody about it. And also, there's no guaranteed returns, and there's no such thing as no risk. So whether it's involved with investment or cryptocurrency, keep that in mind. And scammers like to pay attention to what's in the news. And in 2024, what do we hear a lot about? Interest rates, high inflation. Scammers are thinking, how can I take advantage of the situation? We know that people are struggling, making ends meet on a budget month to month. And so that's why this rose to the very top. Employment scams remained in the #2 spot. It had a median dollar loss of $1,500. Romance friendship scams rose to the 3rd riskiest, and it had the highest median dollar loss of all scam types of just under $6,100. Online purchase or shopping scams landed at #4, and our report said that you're more likely to lose money online, more likely to lose money to a scam online than anywhere else. So my tip to you, do your research before you click buy. Check it out at bbb.org. Check it out, Scam Tracker. If you don't see anything there, do a simple search. Name of the product, name of the company, the term scam or complaint afterward, to see what the community is saying about that particular product or service. Again, check it out ahead of time. That way you don't have to file a complaint or a Scam Tracker report later. Next slide. Now, the riskiest scam type does vary among age groups. Employment scams, you'll see, were the riskiest for people ages 18 to 34. According to survey research, and we do a survey after the year ends, the flexibility to work from home was a top motivational factor for engaging with the scammer. All we heard about was return to work, right? No longer work from home. So if you're a work from home person, you like it, and all of a sudden you get an opportunity, your ears are going to perk up to it. So I encourage you, if you know of anybody in this age range that's looking for employment or may, remind them to do the search the old-fashioned way. I'm over 60, so I consider myself old-fashioned, but don't use the information provided to them by the person that reached out, whether it's on LinkedIn or via text message, but actually search out the company, see if that opportunity exists. And then investment in cryptocurrency was the riskiest for anyone 35 plus. 55 to 64, employment was #2, romance friendship #3. And if you're an individual 65 plus, romance friendship was #2, followed by home improvement. And next slide. So scams often have a serious financial consequence, but they also can have a negative impact on a person's emotional and mental health. And knowing what to do next can be stressful. So during that time when we asked people about their reports, we asked them about the emotional impact of being targeted by a scam. And more than 53% of people said they felt anxiety, stress, or even trauma So if you or somebody you know has been hurt by a scam, I encourage you to check out our BBB Scam Survival Toolkit. Much like the Identity Theft Resource Center that the FTC has, this will help provide a recovery plan for you. It's built on simple questions that leads to a list of action items specific to what happened to you. This, you'll see the URL there, but I encourage people to go directly to Scam Tracker. There'll be a link on that direct page there to take you to the toolkit. And then next page. And then to wrap things up, I want to let you know about a publication created here locally through the Community Foundation of Northern Nevada. It is in English and Spanish and in print and also as a PDF. And I'd like to emphasize that this is free. This is something that came about during the initiative's work, recognizing that there was a severe lack of information and resources for somebody who has suffered a loss. So if you have suffered the loss of a family member, spouse, or partner, during that time of grief, not thinking about scams and scam prevention. So this speaks specifically to that. If you know somebody now, I've got copies here. If you tell me, hey, Tim, I could take 10, 20, or 100, ask me and I can get those to you. Or if you want, take a copy to use as a resource for later on. We had them around the house. A close neighbor lost her husband last year. And so we pulled one out and gave to her as well. I think I've got one more. Yeah. So long story short, it's important that if you do see a scam that you report it. There's many different ways that you do, but without those reports, it's hard to know what's going on in the community. Again, if it's about 5% or less that are actually reporting, it's really hard to know what's going on. So different ways that you can report our Scam Tracker. You can report directly to FTC. IC3.gov is the FBI's online complaint center. Consumer Affairs, the division in Nevada, they don't handle scams, but they do deal with bad businesses. And then also the Attorney General's office. And I would say that if you've lost money, as soon as you recognize it, you reach out to law enforcement. If they have a chance of helping you, they need to know right away. I saw a report from a presentation from the FBI a few years ago, and he showed the success rate within like 24 hours. And then after 24 hours, it was like the stock market in 1929. So definitely reach out. It can't always help if it's not something local here. It's in Malaysia where there's scam centers. But did you want to say something?
Can I piggyback on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sooner you go, the better. We do have a lot of super secret software that some of our fraud division and our crime center can use, where we can do a reverse lookup on that phone number, find out if it's a short line that's traceable, or if someone signed up to have a Google Voice number, but we know who signed up for it. The sooner we get the information, the better. And then I just wanted to piggyback with a lot of the scams, at least last year for sure, were people calling you saying, hi, I'm Lieutenant so-and-so. Hi, I'm Sergeant so-and-so from the Sheriff's Office, from Reno PD, from Sparks PD. The scammers are getting our actual employees' names, and they're telling you legitimate people who work for us from places like Transparent Nevada. I'm a government public worker, service, serving the community. You guys can look up how much I make by first and last name, and that is on the internet, available to anyone. So if they look on that and they find a new one, not a retired person, it can get murky and confusing. My advice is, instead of calling the non-emergency line, which you can call if you receive a call and you're not sure, what they're telling people, and they usually are preying on the older crowd. They're saying you have a warrant for your arrest for not showing up for jury duty is the most common, because that's something that technically almost anyone in our society could get, is a notice that you're going to be on jury duty. That's going to come in the mail. If you don't see one because you've moved and you're thinking there could be truth to this, no one's going to just put out a warrant for I'll tell you right now, for not showing up for jury duty. They're going to try to communicate with you as to why you didn't respond and whatnot. But I could actually share a number too. You probably get quicker service if you call the sheriff's office front desk number and spoke to someone live during the daytime. They can tell you, yes, we have a so-and-so, yes, we have a lieutenant so-and-so, but they're never going to call you at your house on a random cell phone number that's yours, but a cell phone number, and say, you missed jury duty, you have a warrant for your arrest. I wish we did that, and maybe more people would not be caught off guard on a traffic stop for unpaid traffic or parking tickets, but it's almost unheard of. that someone actually has a warrant who is receiving these calls. So if you call the front desk and say, someone called and said I didn't show up for jury duty or I had unpaid traffic, and you know, maybe you did get a parking ticket and you lost it and you're not sure. Never, ever, ever give them any personal identifying information if it's a live phone call, and never click on anything. I've been receiving the whole, you went through the fast pass of San Francisco recently, you didn't pay your toll. Do not, just never click on it, call us, our front desk, we could probably get down to it a lot quicker. But the other thing too is 90% of the time when someone does fall for Sergeant so-and-so or Lieutenant so-and-so from an actual legitimate police department who is employed there, they ask them to pay their fine for not showing up for jury in Apple gift cards. I find that really weird. So please don't ever think that you're gonna pay a government sanction with Apple gift cards. That would absolutely, I bet my life and my retirement, that will never, ever take place. So sorry to.
That's okay.
That's the most.
I'm gonna jump off of that. So some resources over here, please check them out. I'll be around till the end. But speaking of gift cards, we saw a significant increase in 2025 related to older adults. And so we put together a handout there. Also, I encourage you, my time here is too short to really go over everything in detail. So I have some 10 tips to help you to avoid scams in general. But if you have any other questions, well, let me know. Information about identity theft, and I'll toss it over to, or do we go for questions now? Oh, okay.
One quick one.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm on for the record. The romance and friendship, how does a scam like that work? I understand all the other ones, but how do they get money out of that? Or can you just?
So.
I'll tell you.
Chiming on something, we have a member of our family that is convinced that she is dating Keanu Reeves. There's about 15 different accounts that come through that are telling her, I'm gonna marry you, we're gonna be together, send me money. And she does, and no matter what you tell her, she will not believe that she is not dating Keanu Reeves.
So they send them money.
Yes, because people are lonely and they want to believe that this person genuinely wants to be with them. So, you know, I would give my husband all my money if he asked me for it.
Documentaries right now. Maybe some of the other halves that cover romance.
And on the friendship side of things, you might be thinking, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm just looking to talk to somebody. Again, it's all about developing a relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic. Roaming was the term there. Yes.
Mark Newman for the record, with the Doge cuts and all that the federal government made, how is that affecting with some of the departments that used to do the research and checking in on these scams and frauds?
Well, the FTC, the reports that we provide to them and that they collect themselves directly from other agencies, they put that into online database, secure online database called the Consumer Sentinel. And that's available to law enforcement. I don't know that there's been any cuts to that. That way, if somebody is doing a investigation here in Washoe County, they can see what other reports have taken place. But I will say that with the current stall in government right now, like the Federal Trade Commission is not open. So it does slow things down. But they pick back up. Anybody else? Well, thank you. Okay. Question? She has a comment.
I did want to comment on things specific to Washoe County. Having worked in Frame One, we do get reports for all kinds of fun things. And so around property tax season, when you are paying your property taxes, we did have a few years ago a mailer that went out, supposedly from our treasurer's office, asking people to pay money because they were in collections for their properties. And so we do I would say we do a good job, but we try to do a good job in making sure that all of our stuff is branded appropriately and that it's consistent in our communication. So we use the same sort of communication emails. Anyone that signed up for our email blast, as well as our mailers, we send them in the sewer tax bills, as well as directly to your address. And we don't reach out for things like collections. That's handled through our comptroller's office for starters. But that's one of the scams that does happen here in Washoe County and lots of other counties, especially around tax season time and property tax time. And then just a little story as well. We actually, in our office, got a text message from former manager Brown from a different number, assuming it might be his personal cell phone, who said, "Hey, I need to speak to you right away." So luckily he was in the office and we went up and said, hey, sir, you wanted to talk to us? And he's like, I never reached out to you. I never texted you. And so we started texting this person back and they wanted us to get some $20 gift cards from Wegmans, which isn't in our area. And so we found some scratched off cards online and sent them over, and he got very frustrated and eventually kind of dropped it. And then we were able to report it from that phone number. But it does happen. It happens to all of us. And so just a little story for you guys just to know that we're all in it together in the trenches. So.
Thank you so much. It's hard to believe all that stuff somebody thinks up. Oh my gosh. We are down to number 7, neighborhood development hub and other opportunities. Do you have anything for us, Alexandra?
I might. Let me just pull this up real quick. All right, so I don't have any neighborhood development hub meetings that have occurred or that are occurring in the future, at least that not any that are scheduled. But I did want to let you know we did have 2 sessions for attainable housing that occurred for all districts. One was held online, the other was held in person at the chambers down at 9th Street. If you weren't able to attend that meeting, any of those documents that were provided, the presentation materials, attendee list, questions that were asked, those will be uploaded online for anyone to access. In addition, if you had comments or concerns, you are welcome to submit feedback on those at any time until they are sent over to the governing body for next steps, usually the Planning Commission or the Board of County Commissioners. I did want to let you know we do have an opening for the Tahoe Regional Planning Agency Advisory Planning Commission. And while it is recommended that someone in the Tahoe Basin be appointed to that board, it is not restricted in that sense. And so if anyone is interested in getting more information, that application closes on February 9th. And that is the only board opening that we have currently. Most of our boards do go around the fiscal year. And so you'll see an uptick in board openings around the April time in time for June and July to be appointed for those new terms. So just keep your eyes and ears open. And if anyone needs to sign up for our district lists, we send them to those as well as our citizen involvement. So you guys are in the know about all openings and ways to volunteer. Okay.
Thank you. We're down to number 8. Commissioner, do you have any exciting stuff for us?
Always.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Mariluz Garcia for the record. So I have some quality of life and economic development updates. So first off, on the quality of life issue, so we're talking about cleanliness and fighting blight and making sure that our community is safe and clean. I partnered with Brian Becker, our sustainability manager, to create a pilot program, and it's a waste management voucher program. It's a little ticket that is like yay big. And what that will do is folks from emergency now I'm thinking emergency, environmental health services, code enforcement, any of our team when they're out and about, when they're hearing from constituents that want to clean up their properties but don't have the means to do so or can't afford to get down to a transfer station, we will have these vouchers in their back pockets so that they can give to residents to clean up their house. They're free, so residents can have a window of time to get down to the transfer station. And so this is a new program. They created a new budget line at Waste Management just for us. It's a pilot program, and it's really important to me. So we're going to check some data and see how many people are utilizing it. So that's new. I wanted to give you an update about abandoned vehicles. So I'm on social media all the time, and I often will read about abandoned vehicles in Sun Valley, and I simply just go to 311 and I say, hey, constituents are talking about this vehicle. It's been tagged. It's still sitting there. Can we get a second look at it? And then it's gone in a few days. You all can do the same exact thing I do. I use 311 and they get on it. Feel free to CC me if you want on the email. When you email Washoe 311, you can put my email in the carbon copy, and then that way I'm aware. But I'm tracking those abandoned vehicles because I want those out of here too. But I wanted to give you an update that several of those have been moved recently. Thank you, Sheriff. The working group. So last month I came to talk to you about an agenda item that was coming before the county commission. This was to allocate 4 additional, anything that's over 4 hours is going to require votes from my colleagues to say yay or nay. So we brought forward this deceased private property owner item and it passed unanimously. So now I know I'm very excited. We have a team, a working group that's already sprung into action. There are 4 properties here in Sun Valley that we all know about. I don't need to mention them, who are already at the top of our list to address. The working team is made up of the DA's office, the treasurer, the assessor, the public administrator, folks from environmental health services, code enforcement. It's a large team and they are strategically targeting each individual case because they're very complex. So that passed, the working group's already moving. It's already moving forward and we should be seeing resolutions to some of those properties that we've all been very concerned about. The illegal dumping, somebody brought up that situation. It was on my radar because I was gonna go clean it up with KTMB. We were watching the gentleman who did the dumping and he was trying because he was cleaning it up himself. Didn't get the job done. And I believe our work crew actually went up there and finished it. So I haven't gone out there to look, but it's clean now. And he is being held accountable. So Sun Valley GID. I'm visiting the GID on February 10th because I have something very exciting to present. I was able to allocate some of my discretionary funds, and this is tying into the economic development of Sun Valley. So I carved out some of my discretionary funds to try to boost and liven up things along the Sun Valley corridor. I connected with Scolari's private property owners, and we're going to be hosting a food truck series out here in Sun Valley. I'm sponsoring it with my discretionary funds, and the GID, if it passes, will be the ones who we partner with. And the individual that's going to be operating it is the same person that runs Food Truck Friday, Food Truck Wednesday, they have food truck events all over the county now. So we're looking at 3 dates for sure, and possibly 4. They will be on Thursdays, starting June 11th. So it's after Washoe County School District gets out. So the 11th, the 18th, the 25th of June, and we're still looking at July 2nd because it's a holiday week. So we got to check out how many trucks are available that week. So we are going to have the first one be a competition for youth, a dance competition to bring out families. We're hoping to have about 10 different food trucks. Priority will be given to local Sun Valley food trucks to help strengthen the local economy here. And then after that, we're looking at themes. So we're thinking of having a country night, theme night, so we can have some country music along with the food trucks. So please let me know after the meeting if you have any other themes or ideas that you would like to see here. We're still collecting ideas and we'll be presenting to the GID on February 10th. So we'll see you soon. We have our Sun Valley Economic Plan. My first meeting is tomorrow. This is also discretionary funds that I set aside to study Sun Valley Boulevard. So we will be looking at how we can bolster the businesses and economic development out here. We've never had a plan specific to Sun Valley, so I'm really excited to see that. So that's all the updates I have right now. As always, you can reach out to me directly by phone, call, text. I'll come visit you at your house, whatever's easiest, 444-0628. All right, any questions? Yes, sir.
Or come up with the record. The working group, you talked about those properties that are, abandoned or whatever. Are they gonna be put up for sale? Is that what's gonna happen, or?
It depends on the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
We won't, that'll be down the line, months down the line.
Yeah, and I'll keep you posted on the properties once they start moving in that direction.
Oh, one more question. I don't know if it's to you or maybe to the fellow from the GID. There's a house that I know about at First and Odie that is on Tomwa, but I'm on Sun Valley GID for water, because I live up off of Pearl. Is that, they have 2 different companies, where does it stop or what's the difference?
I just looked up the boundary the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a snake of a boundary.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a section of over here in the, I would say the southeast, okay, of Sun Valley that is Tumwa. And we have several people in here that are on that system.
Yeah.
And right next door, your neighbor might be on the GID.
Yeah.
And stuff. We are a wholesale buyer from Tumwa. Okay, so our systems are connected, but not in billing. And if they need to get to us, like for fire, which they have before, when their hydrants weren't able to, someone had a hydrant failure up there, they can hook up to ours anytime and get, get water if they need. But yeah, it's just the way the valley developed. When the valley developed, it developed, slowly, and the history man will probably be able to tell you a whole lot more about how this all happened to us. But yeah, there's a snake of a barrier between Tumwa, which does this area, and the GID, which takes care of the rest of the valley.
The reason for the question, I have a few other comments to make real quick about it, is the gal that lives over there in First and Odin, and I live up there, her bill is about half as much as mine. Okay, it's monthly. And the other question, or the other issue is, it's a rental property up there, and they didn't pay the water bill, it got shut off. I tried to call to get it back on Friday, I was wanting to pay the bill, you guys aren't open on Fridays, that's really weird, okay? One thing, then they couldn't wait until Tuesday because there's a holiday Monday, so they went 5 days without water. Tomlaw will go out and pay your bill anytime and turn it back on. That's an issue that I have.
So, well, we have an emergency service, so
And
obviously you didn't get through the right.
Nobody answered.
So yeah, it's a different system than what Tumwa has.
Okay.
And the water bills are different because Tumwa does not include sewer, and Sun Valley does. Sun Valley is a dual bill.
Okay, that can.
Not a single bill. So that would change what you're paying right away, because you're paying for sewer and water. I don't want to keep distracting you.
I'm sorry.
But catch me after, and we can go over all sorts of details about the GID and how that stuff works.
Well, I'm glad you asked the question because I skipped over one of the most important ones. I got a cleanup coming up. So Saturday, April 25th, we're talking about doing tires and TVs again, but I wanted to get your input. Remember the very first cleanup I did? It was like all things. It was a lot. I don't know if we want to do that. We've done household hazardous waste with the paint and everything. That also we filled to the brim. The tires still continue to be an issue. I think we've collected over 5,000 tires. That's about, no, like for real. They did the data for me, huh, Alex? So I'm leaning towards doing tires and TVs because the e-waste continues to be an issue. So thumbs up. Are we stick with that for now, or do you guys want a broader cleanup? Okay, well, catch me after the meeting and we can talk. So again, that's planning for Saturday, April 25th here at Scolari's. All right, thank you. Oh, yes.
I had a question online that said, are there any updates about a grocery store coming to Sun Valley?
Yes. So I check in periodically. There are some things in progress. Again, this is a private property, so I'm not privy to all those details. But there are some interested parties, and I believe they're all still very much in the grocery store lane. I haven't heard any other ideas or things that are being pitched that wouldn't bring groceries to our valley. Thank you, online. Anything else? Yes,
Mark Newman for the record. We spoke last week about the Highland Ranch with the Highland Village 1 and 2. And either the school zone or a crosswalk up the other side on the north end of there. Did you happen to speak with Ken Crater, the developer? Because I know when he's been to numerous of our meetings, he was willing to back that. That was one of our demands that the cab members had made through the meetings. I was wondering if you had heard anything on
I
that.
did talk to him right after I talked to you, and he said that during that vetting process, the school district wasn't interested in that. I'll fill you in, JJ, after the meeting.
I don't want a school zone in there so the kids can just run across the street. Doesn't that sound sweet?
Okay, we're not
45,
gonna
50 miles an hour,
blind
you got kindergartners to sixth grader running across the street.
Thank you. I'll fill you in,
Oh,
Mr. Phoenix, appreciate you. All right, thank you all.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. I have some things that I want to share. I went to the commissioners meeting on the 13th, and one of the agenda items I spoke on was the one that Commissioner just told us about with the properties of deceased people and all of that, and that did pass. However, we lost on the other one. And the other one was changing the zoning for the 18+ acres between First and Second Street behind the elementary school. Commissioner Garcia was the only commissioner that voted no. And we did lose.
Jean Herman didn't vote, no? She voted yes.
So there is a possibility that eventually 200+ more apartments will be built behind the school. And when Chocolate Drive LLC gets built, that means we're gonna have 950 to 1,000 more cars coming down First Street, Second Street, West Deptford, and trying to get on Sun Valley Boulevard and get out of Sun Valley. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah. Hey Heidi, can you state your name for the record?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sober. Here, I told you to do it and I forgot. January 22nd, on a Thursday, I went to the Swift Exit Evacuation Plan meeting, the committee that I'm on, and the evacuation plan map for Sun Valley was created. That was quite a project. I didn't realize how big we are. We're humongous. 22,000+ people live out here. And all we can do is cross our fingers. We don't all have to leave at one time. Not. Anyway, the leader of this group, Kelly Echeverria, is going to come and speak with us. Probably in 1 or 2 months to catch everybody up on what is going on with that evacuation. Wednesday, February 4th, I will be meeting with the Washoe County Sheriff Office Neighborhood Watch Liaison. And we're going to go over what it takes to create a neighborhood watch in Sun Valley. And that information will be presented to you when we have her come and speak with everybody. Probably in April on the CAB meeting. Our new county manager was scheduled for tonight, but she was not able to come, so we're planning on seeing her in March. And one really neat thing, I noticed the front of Wells Fargo Bank. They're working on it. They're doing something in the front, up on the top. They have blacked out the doors and blocked off the doors so you can't possibly open them. Anybody got a clue what they're doing? Yes, ma'am.
John McCarthy. The bank building was broken into, and that's when they blacked out the windows and the doors. Oh. Did you know that it's changed hands? But I haven't been able to find any permits or anything else for what kind of business is going in. And nobody is giving any information, so I wish I could give you some more.
Oh, that
I
will
watch
at least,
every day.
at least it gives us a little information. I think my branch manager is hiding from me after all the emails I sent him to get our ATM back, because he won't talk to me. I go in the bank, oh, he's not here. One other thing, I did bring a sheet. These were all the topics for the agenda that we talked about last time. We added them all up, and in March, we're going to have the county manager and the Fire Adapted Nevada coming to talk to us about fires out here. In April, probably the Neighborhood Watch program. Possibly in May, Chocolate Drive LLC development. Can you believe that? They're gonna come here and talk to us.
Oh,
Not worth.
No,
They lost it. Have they got a permit anymore?
no, not that I know of. I don't know. They'll tell us all about it. Possibly in July or August, we'll have the history of Sun Valley, and we need to get together, and you and Alexandra and everybody can figure out what we want to do to include or move the date or whatever on that. And the Swift evacuation is going to come, like I said, Kelly. And possibly in June or July, Endow is gonna come and talk to us about the new laws for coyote and other local wildlife hunting in Sun Valley. And the Foster Adoption and Mentor Project will be maybe April or May to give us information on that. Our next meeting is March 2nd. I hope everybody comes. And Mr. Johnson, thank you again for coming to talk to us. I appreciate it. You taught us all a whole lot. So that's all I have, but anybody? What? Okay, did you want that or did you want general public?
No, I need to say something as a board member if I can, share with you. We should take me to hand it down, please. Veronica Cortez, Citizens Advisory Board. I work for the school district. If you don't know that, I've been working for them since 1999. And I recently started going back to school board meetings because every single meeting I've gone through minutes and we've always had something about the schools coming up. Your concern is a very valid one, Mark, and we need to do something to protect our children that go to our schools. So when I went to the school board meeting and I mentioned how Sun Valley needs help with the roads, there's actually a problem. There's a program called Safe Routes to School, and they can come and give a presentation. It's through the school district, and they can provide students in the community with skills to walk and bike safety. They can also create physical improvements on the streets and neighborhoods, which is what you're talking about, what we need. They can partner with local law enforcement to address traffic and crime concerns in the neighborhoods around the schools. And they're ensuring that Safe Routes to School initiative benefit for all demographic groups, which is us. Sometimes we're the redheaded stepchild, and I want to make sure that we are adequately and fairly represented around our schools, because every single meeting that we have, we're talking about schools. So I would like to, if we can, make a motion to allow a presentation for Safe Routes to Schools at one of our meetings. JJ was at the meeting that I went, so he knows how much I advocate for schools and he can give us more information. But for now, I want to see if we can bring in this program to educate us more on how we can protect our community in regards to the school. Yeah.
What I'll do is give that information to Alexandra. She contacts all of our contacts here to schedule and have her put that on the agenda. Yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, I wanted to say one more thing too. I wanted to thank Mary and Veronica for going to that commissioners meeting with me.
I mean, Michael Ryder for the record. No, we're not. We're still in board. I just wanted to thank Marluz Garcia. The GID and Marluz Garcia have been working on the project for Gepper Park, and that's also for public safety for our children. And as a GID member, we have several here. We put a fence up on the south side of the fields over there by the T-ball fields to protect the children from getting into the street. And then we pass the ball off because we can't go beyond our property line to the county. And the county is going to take out the ditch and put in sidewalks along that park. And we are going to put in some more fencing down on the south side of that park to protect those children, to keep them out of the streets. And I just want to let you know that there are lots of entities out here that are working towards keeping our children safe out there. It's not just one group, it's a bunch of us. It's a whole community effort out here. Keep our children safe, to keep them engaged, and to keep them from vandalizing our parks. So that's what sports is for. So I just want to let you know that there's lots of things going on here, and this is important. The school zones, I really think that is super important, because that road over there, Highland Ranch, they go down there at freeway speeds. If we don't do something about that, that could be very dangerous for the children in that area. But we're doing it at our parks as well. I just want to recognize Marluz Garcia and the GID for the efforts that they're making to do the same thing at our parks to try to keep our children safe. Thank you.
All righty, that gets us down to general public comment, and Trista would like to speak to us.
Hello, everybody. Trista Gomez. I'm running for County Commission District 3.
it is exciting to hear some of the good stuff that's happening, with the community during the election year, so that's great. One of the things I did want to say is for the, I cannot get my children to text me back or answer my calls in any way. They just never, they just won't. I'll text them and I'll call them and they don't call me back. And I'll be at my mom's house and some unknown caller will go flash across my mom's screen and she just can't help herself but to answer the phone. And I'm like, Mom, you can't answer the phone. You don't know who that is. And she's like, well, honey, I just don't know. Maybe it's going to be somebody that I need to talk to. And I'm like, no, it's not. Please don't answer the phone. And so anyway, I'm glad that the person from Better Business Bureau said that, because just please don't answer your phone if you don't know who that is. I work in a field where there's a lot of money exchanging hands, and their main target is elderly and mature people. And so I just tell all of those people during the entire process when we're doing a transaction, just please don't answer the phone. So that's the one thing. Just really briefly, I've met some of you. I haven't met all of you. Trista Gomez. My website is Trista Gomez, or Vote for Trista. And the Facebook is Trista Gomez for Washoe. And I'm just letting you guys know that I'm here. I've lived here for my whole life. Try to leave, but I don't get to leave. It just calls me back. And so I just keep coming back. But the things that I'm worried about are when the budgets for counties, that they really start to affect and hurt and harm the residents of the counties. And I've seen that happen in big cities, and I've seen them not be able to balance their budgets and not be able to, keep control. And what it does is it just hurts the people who need the help the most. And that's really one of the main things that I care about. The other thing that I care about a lot, and that I've talked about every single meeting that I've ever been to, is everybody's worried about traffic. And that is the one thing that I just keep always trying to figure out. I met with the Planning Commission the other day, and really they just talked to me about the metrics and the process about how the developments are approved. And really, without changing some of those metrics, we are just going to keep seeing a high level of development. And it's going to be anything that's going to be addressed is going to be after the development has happened, because those properties have a high rate of revenue versus the older property that, a lot of us, many of us, my parents, my aunts, my kids, they live in those properties. And so it's important to keep those property taxes low for the folks that live here and didn't come here from other places with a higher income. And so that is something that's really important to me. And if you ever have any questions for me, you can always email me, do whatever you need. And I hear the buzzer. So anyway, nice to see y'all, and I'll see you next time.
Oh. All right, Veronica.
Got it.
All right, good evening, everybody. Veronica Cortez, not as a board member, as a concerned citizen here for Sun Valley. I've been going to a lot of meetings all over. Thank you for the recognition that I have been going to meetings. I've also been giving talks to different groups. I was with the Freedom Coalition the other day. I'll be with the Red Move here on Wednesday. And when I originally started my campaign, my goal was to come in and I'm going to change things, because I'm going to run for county commissioner and everybody's going to back me up because I'm the pizza girl. Do you know what? I got a hot reality check when I got out there and I started running real politics show. Running a campaign is not a joke. There's campaign coaches out there. There's political, for example, Alexa still just paid $200,000 to a political person who's going to make her a website and make her win her campaign. And it made me realize how much corruption really we have. And it doesn't matter if I get on as county commissioner, even though I don't want things to pass, it's already been proven that we're going to be overridden. So there's really no hope. So whoever gets county commissioner, God bless you, but I'm out. So for a minute, I thought I was going to do school board. JJ saw me go and I was like, you know what? I deserve school board. I'm the best candidate. And then I said, you know what? There's a lot of logistics behind there. He was appointed to that position for a reason. And if he's going to run, he has a really good chance of getting it because he's already there and he has all the backing. So I don't think I'd have a good chance at school board. However, there's a list here of all the openings for different positions that you can run for. And right now in District 27, there's only one Democratic candidate. So if we can get somebody, and Mark knows how hard the campaign is, to get and run for District 27, we would need all the Republican votes, nonpartisan, independents, but it's never, ever been a Republican seat. And that's what you're going up against, is it's always been Democratic, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why we're in the situation that we are, because we've only had those type of people in those seats. And this is the time you need to stop your political affiliation and vote what's best for our community. I'm thinking about running for Assembly 27. That would give me the opportunity to get up to the legislation and actually present bills that have an opportunity to be passed for the citizens and the community here. Legislation is the only way that we're going to be able to attack this, because even if there's a board of 7 people and one person says no, the other 6 are going to go against it. We should really consider backing a very strong candidate for District 27. Whoever it's going to be, we need to really look at who's running for what is their special interest. Have they had an issue maybe with the county and now they want to charge into battle? So what happened with Joey Gilbert? Why didn't he win? Because he was burnt and he didn't have an organized campaign. An assembly seat, we're going to need $70,000 in order to have a fighting chance. Look at the elections, talk with the people who have run. God bless Sun Valley.
Yeah.
You want to stop?
Oh.
Go ahead.
City's gonna represent District 27.
For beauty.
Cindy Leslie, I am very involved in the senior center here, as most people know. There is a weatherization assistance program, even though it's not pulled out. It's you apply for the service, it's income eligible households. What do? Reduction of energy costs. They come out and do energy audits, sealing of drafts and air leaks installation, yada, yada, yada. If you're interested, come take a picture of it and apply. Cool. Thank you. Oh my God. Yeah, Mark.
Good evening, everybody. For the record, my name is Mark Newman. I have already served 3 years on the General Improvement District. And next year I'm gonna be up for re-election again, and I do plan on running again. I've really worked hard for this community. I serve on the Washoe County Senior Services Citizens Advisory Board. Work very closely with Cindy, trying to get stuff out here for our seniors in Sun Valley. I've also served on the cabin right now. I'm an alternate. Carmen here, we both serve as well. Thank you.
All right, I think that brings,
Go ahead, Alex.
I'm sorry, Carmen, I didn't see you.
Oh, well, I just decided I'm so motivational.
Hi, my name is Carmen Ortiz, and I am an alternate on the Sun Valley Citizen Advisory Board. I've served on the CAB for the last 11 years. I served as chair of the Sun Valley Citizen Advisory Board from 2015 to 2024. The first time I was elected for the Sun Valley General Improvement District was in 2016. I ran again in 2020 and again in 24. So I have been serving this community. I did run for Assembly District 27 because my heart is for families and for kids. I didn't need $70,000 and I came damn close. So I, as of this morning, was undecided. But I'm sure I'll let you guys know next month if I will be running for Assembly District 27 to represent Sun Valley and the North Valleys and Northwest Reno again. Thank you. Assembly District 27 is basically all of Sun Valley. It's Northwest Reno up to McCarran, Billinghurst, and the North Valleys again like this. So Golden Valley, Panther Valley, part of the North Valleys, part of even a little bit of Stead, but it's mostly, yeah, and Sun Valley is where I live. So thank you.
Alexander, did you have something?
Is she running too?
I know better than that. Hi, everyone. Alexandra Wilson for the record. I just want to let you guys know there were a couple things mentioned. One was Hope and our homeless outreach team. We do have other cabs throughout the community who also are interested in those types of topics. And so I want to let you know that the Hope team is actually going to be in Spanish Springs this Thursday, February 5th, to do a presentation on just that. So if anyone's interested, you can hop online or you can attend in person, going that nice route through Highland Ranch to get there. If anyone's interested, that will be happening.
Don't do it, go around.
Or you can go around. The other thing, I did put flyers back there, just to pressure some of our, agencies. There is a wildfire risk reduction program, that agencies can apply for up to $75,000 to do fire risk reduction in our area. Individuals that are not individuals, agencies that are eligible are 501c3s. Recognized districts such as fire districts, conservancy districts. We have a couple of those here in our area. Political subdivisions, potentially HOAs, although I have to look through the extensive list of who can apply. But please let those individuals know if you are in contact with any of them to apply for that type of program. Sun Valley, as we saw in some of our previous presentations, is in the top 3% for fire risk. And so that would be something amazing to be done here in this area. And that's why we're also inviting Fire Adaptive Nevada to come and present. It looks like that we are booked up for the next 6 months, so I guess we're getting really popular as far as topics. But that is all the updates that I have. Wednesday, February 5th, sorry. My dates are all mixed up.
Oh, wait, the cat lady wants to say something.
Thank you. I'm the cat lady, okay?
I'm sorry.
Community cats, real quick. One thing I wanted to say is that, Nevada Humane Society was here last week and the Options Clinic is fixing cats at no cost. No cost cat spay neuters. And because the grant money from the county, and I have flyers about those here, easy way to make appointments. Also, I mentioned at the last meeting that we have filled the gap between the 4% that we're already doing spay neuter from Sun Valley, and we're around 40%. I'll have a real good tighter number next meeting. We're bridging that gap. We're getting 35 approximately more percentage of cats fixed than without our assistance. So I have some flyers with our numbers for the year. And that's all, and I thank you very much, and we're in Sun Valley for the long haul, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. I think that brings us down to number 10.
I move that we adjourn.
Everybody in favor? Aye.